You walk into a room. No one looks up. You smile. No one smiles back. You speak. The conversation just continues without you. Sound familiar? If you're over 50, this isn't paranoia. It's invisible woman syndrome, and it's brutally real. Helen Walmsley Johnson named it perfectly. Society doesn't just overlook mature women, it erases them. Salespeople skip you. Compliments vanish. Eyes slide past like you're already gone. But here's the shock. You can shatter that invisibility in just 7 seconds. Science proves it. The first 7 seconds of visual contact decide if you're seen as confident, magnetic, unforgettable, or completely irrelevant. And the weapon? Not Botox, not a new haircut, color. Today, I'm exposing the 5 noble colors that hack perception, override ageist blind spots, and force people, especially men, to notice you instantly. These aren't nice shades. They're psychological triggers that make your skin glow, your presence dominate, and your energy scream main character. Stay with me, because by the end, you'll know exactly which one to wear tomorrow. And the reactions will blow your mind. If you're done being invisible, smash that like button right now to lock in your commitment. Drop "I'm done disappearing" in the comments so we can rally together. And subscribe plus hit the bell. You won't want to miss the next tip that puts you back in the center of every story. Let's end the erasure. Right now. Building right off that hook, because if we've been erased from view, the first step to getting noticed again is understanding why our old go-to colors are suddenly working against us. As someone who's passionate about fashion psychology, I don't see this as just updating your wardrobe. It's a biological must-do after 50. Over the years, your eye's lens naturally yellows from UV exposure in time. It acts like a built-in yellow filter that blocks more blue and violet light from reaching your retina. On top of that, the blue-sensitive cones in your eyes lose some of their punch. Cool tones, like standard blues, purples, or even some greens, start to look muddy, dull, or washed out, both to you and to the people looking at you. At the same time, our skin changes too. It loses that youthful glow and collagen bounce. The safe colors we loved in our 30s and 40s begin betraying us. Black acts like a light vacuum, sucking up all the illumination around your face. It creates harsh shadows that carve deeper into nasolabial folds, under-eye hollows, and any dark circles. Beige does the opposite. It literally melts you into the background, making you fade even more until you're practically invisible. That's why we need to shift from the beige trap to something smarter. The beige trap, black or beige, sends a signal of vanishing, reserved energy. It absorbs light and accentuates every shadow, leaving you in what I call social nothingness. But the strategic shift to noble colors does the exact opposite. It signals confidence and vitality, reflects light back onto your face for that much-needed sensory recovery, and instantly projects authority and main character energy. The bottom line is clear. We can't fight biology, but we can outsmart it. Ditch the safe zone and choose colors that work with your aging eyes and skin. These colors reflect light, boost vibrancy, and make your presence impossible to ignore. That's exactly what these 5 noble colors are designed to do. We're about to break them down one by one. Get ready. The shift starts right here. Now let's move from the science straight into action, because knowing why beige betrays us is one thing, but feeling the shift when you put on the right color is something entirely different. We're starting with the boldest, most commanding of our 5 noble colors, tomato red. Picture this shade. Not the cool blue-based crimson you might remember from your 20s, but a juicy, sun-warmed tomato red that sits right between true red and orange red. It's alive, it's warm, it's unapologetic. For women over 50, especially those whose skin has taken on that subtle yellow or sallow cast from years of living fully, this is magic in fabric form. Tomato red doesn't just sit on your skin, it bounces light back toward your face in exactly the right wavelengths. It creates an instant, flattering warmth that lifts sallow undertones, softens the edges of fatigue, and gives your complexion that fresh from the sun glow we all crave as collagen quietly retreats. But the real power isn't just visual, it's psychological. Color psychology research consistently shows that red hues in this family trigger perceptions of energy, ambition, confidence, and even leadership. When people see tomato red on you, their brains don't register older woman. They register vitality, drive, someone who's still very much in the game. It short-circuits those quiet, ageist assumptions that mature women are winding down. Instead, it broadcasts the opposite. You're accelerating. You're unstoppable. You're the one with the story everyone wants to hear next. And here's where it gets practical. You don't need a complete wardrobe overhaul to feel this shift. Start simple and powerful. Reach for a well-tailored tomato red blazer. Layer it over a crisp white shirt or a neutral silk camisole. Then ground the look with navy trousers or deep charcoal pants. The contrast is sharp but not harsh. Navy and charcoal temper the heat of the red while amplifying your authority. Shoulders squared, posture lifted, the blazer becomes your armor. Walk into a meeting, a lunch, or even just the coffee shop and watch what happens. Heads turn. Conversations pause. People lean in. That 7-second window we talked about earlier, tomato red owns it. For those of you with silver or gray hair, this color is especially forgiving and flattering. The warmth in tomato red plays beautifully against cooler hair tones, making silver strands look intentional and luminous rather than muted. If your undertone leans warmer, it harmonizes even more seamlessly. Try it this week. Slip on that red blazer or even just a scarf or top in tomato red, and pay attention to the micro shifts. The extra eye contact, the warmer smiles, the way doors, literal and figurative, open a little wider. This isn't about screaming for attention. It's about claiming the attention you already deserve. Tomato red isn't loud for the sake of being loud. It's ambitious. It's alive. And when you wear it, so are you. With tomato red still echoing that burst of ambition in our minds, let's ease into the steadier, more grounding side of presence, the kind that doesn't shout but simply commands the room through quiet certainty. We've moved past the science of light and biology, past the trap of fading into beige, and now we're layering in colors that feel like reliable anchors. Royal and cobalt blue come first, followed by pearl white. These are the shades that say, "I've got this," without ever needing to prove it. Royal blue and cobalt blue belong to that rare family of hues that feel both timeless and instantly modern. They're deep, saturated, alive with intensity, far from the washed-out navy or powder blue that might have once felt safe. Why the emphasis on saturation? Because, as we explored earlier, the yellowing lens and diminishing blue cone response after 50 can dull cooler tones, making them recede rather than stand forward. Bold versions push back against that fade. Royal blue carries a noble, almost ceremonial weight. Cobalt blue sharpens it with a vibrant, electric clarity. Together they radiate reliability, emotional stability, and intellectual competence. The exact signals that quietly dismantle any unspoken assumption that maturity equals diminishment. People don't just notice you in these blues. They trust you. Conversations deepen. Decisions feel safer in your direction. Color psychology backs this up. Blue consistently lowers perceived threat while raising perceived expertise, creating space for you to be heard and respected without raising your volume. On days when full intensity feels too much, or when you want to lean into a more reflective mood, haze blue offers the perfect middle ground. It's still richly pigmented but veiled with a gentle gray mist, thoughtful, composed, quietly wise. This shade suits the woman who has stories worth listening to and the calm to tell them slowly. Both the bold and the hazy versions work wonders with silver or gray hair, framing the face with cool precision and pulling attention upward to your gaze and smile instead of letting lower face shadows take center stage. Pearl white arrives next as the soft counterpoint, the glow that makes everything feel effortless. This is not the blinding, clinical white that can drain color from mature skin or create unflattering glare. Pearl white is subtler, with a delicate, almost pearlescent sheen that catches and scatters light in the gentlest way possible. Imagine it as your own portable lighting team. Wherever you stand, it reflects just enough ambient illumination back toward your features to softly fill nasolabial folds, ease the depth of under-eye hollows, and restore that rested, luminous quality so many of us miss after a certain age. It doesn't fight your skin tone, it flatters it, adding a fresh from-within brightness that feels natural rather than applied. The combination that turns this duo into something truly memorable is pairing pearl white with rich, saturated greens, emerald, deep forest, or even a muted olive. This pairing creates what I call vintage luxury, refined, intentional, quietly opulent. The green brings grounding depth, a sense of enduring growth and calm authority. The pearl white lifts it into something airy and elevated. Together, they evoke curated taste, the kind of wardrobe that whispers, "I've lived well and chosen wisely," rather than announcing it. A pearl white silk blouse beneath an emerald cardigan, a tailored pearl white coat draped over a green midi dress, or even simple accessories in these tones. The effect is sophisticated without strain, expensive looking without excess. These colors connect directly to everything we've built so far. They reflect rather than absorb light, they adapt to our evolving eyes and skin. And in this 2026 moment, they feel remarkably current. Saturated blues remain a cornerstone of optimistic professionalism, while soft, luminous whites like Pantone's Cloud Dancer continue to lead the conversation on serene, skin-kind elegance. The result is presence that doesn't compete. It simply exists, undeniable and graceful. The invitation is straightforward. Try one piece soon. A cobalt sweater for tomorrow's errands, a haze blue scarf for your next coffee date, a pearl white top under your favorite green jacket for a casual lunch. Pay attention to the subtle shifts, the way people hold your gaze a beat longer, how compliments arrive without prompting, how the energy in a room tilts slightly toward you. These aren't dramatic changes, they're precise ones. They remind the world and yourself that you are still very much the main character. We've now covered 3 of our 5 noble colors: tomato red for ambition's fire, royal cobalt blue for steady command, pearl white for radiant lift. The palette is taking shape, each shade reinforcing the last. Coming up next, the tranquil authority of emerald green and the vibrant, unapologetic joy of magenta and rich pinks, colors that bring calm strength and bold individuality into full view. These final 2, emerald green and magenta with its rich pinks, complete the transformation from invisible to utterly captivating. Emerald green arrives like a deep breath in a hurried world. This rich, jewel-toned green evokes ancient forests, still lakes, and quiet renewal. It doesn't demand attention the way tomato red does. Instead, it invites it gently. For women over 50, emerald green works in harmony with the biology we've discussed. It reflects soft, healing light that counters facial shadows and dullness far better than any muted neutral. More than that, research in psychology and aging highlights something remarkable. Older adults consistently show stronger memory and positive emotional response to green stimuli. When you wear emerald green, viewers experience a subtle sensory recovery, a moment of calm clarity that lowers stress and makes your presence feel soothing yet undeniably powerful. You become the person who centers the room, who offers wisdom without preaching, who radiates calm authority simply by being there. This shade makes silver or gray hair sparkle with intention rather than fade, and it layers beautifully with what we've already covered. An emerald cardigan over pearl white for vintage luxury, or paired with cobalt blue for grounded sophistication. Then comes the color that refuses to play small, magenta and its family of rich pinks, from the soft, dusty elegance of Morandi pink to deeper berry, fuchsia, and magenta tones. These are the ultimate irresistible pivot away from the beige trap. After years of being encouraged to soften, to blend, to accept background status as the price of age, magenta says no. It announces that you are still vibrant, still creative, still fully participating in life with joy and individuality. Psychologically, richer pinks evoke warmth, self-acceptance, and playful confidence. They signal emotional openness and vitality without fragility. Magenta grabs the strongest attention of our 5 noble colors because it surprises and delights. People expect restraint. When you show up in a rich magenta coat or a Morandi pink blouse, you rewrite expectations. You prove that maturity doesn't mean muting yourself. It means amplifying what makes you uniquely alive. These pinks are kind to mature skin when chosen wisely. Deeper shades add flattering warmth and depth, while softer Morandi tones feel refined and contemporary. They integrate seamlessly with the rest of the palette. A magenta scarf against pearl white for instant joy, magenta layered under emerald green for layered richness, or a pink accent with cobalt blue for modern contrast. And in 2026, with romantic pinks and vibrant hues dominating collections as symbols of optimism and personal expression, these choices feel not just empowering, but perfectly timed. Together, emerald green and magenta, rich pinks seal the full set of noble colors. Tomato red sparked the fire of ambition. Royal and cobalt blue anchored trust and competence. Pearl white delivered effortless glow. Emerald green restored calm clarity and quiet strength. And these final shades brought unapologetic joy and individuality. Everyone reflects light, adapts to our changing eyes and skin, aligns with current trends, and, above all, reclaims the narrative. You are no longer something to overlook. You are the center of the frame. Here's your gentle challenge. Choose one of these last colors this week. Slip into an emerald sweater for a low-key day, or a magenta top when you want to feel boldly yourself. Wear it with the same intention we've built throughout. Notice the micro shifts, the longer glances, the warmer energy, the way people lean in. These aren't just colors. They're reminders that your presence matters, that your story is still unfolding in vivid detail. We've now walked the complete path through all 5 noble colors. The science, the psychology, the 2026 trends, they all point to the same truth. You have the power to be seen, respected, and celebrated exactly as you are. The tools are in your hands. The only step left is to put them on and step into the light. We've now seen the full spectrum of our 5 noble colors come alive, each one a deliberate choice to reflect light, honor our changing biology, and align with the optimistic, expressive mood of 2026. The palette is complete, but knowing them isn't enough. Wearing them with intention turns theory into transformation. This is where the real shift happens, where Invisible Woman Syndrome loses its grip and main character energy becomes your default. The principle that ties everything together is something researchers call enclothed cognition. It's the idea that what you wear doesn't just cover your body, it changes your mind and how you move through the world. Studies show that intentional clothing can lower cortisol, the stress hormone that accelerates aging at a cellular level, boost confidence, improve posture, and even enhance cognitive performance. When you put on one of these noble colors in a structured, thoughtful way, you're not just dressing, you're intervening in your own nervous system. You're telling your brain, I am seen, I am capable, I am here. And your body listens. Shoulders drop back, chin lifts slightly, steps become more purposeful. The internal shift is as real as the external one. To make that shift stick, follow a few practical rules that amplify every noble color we've covered. First, the 60-30-10 rule. Let your primary noble color dominate 60% of the outfit. A coat, dress, or wide-leg trousers, pair it with a neutral for 30%, navy, charcoal, or soft taupe, and add a small bold accent for the final 10%, a scarf, shoes, or statement earrings. This ratio creates balance, strong presence, without overwhelming. Second, prioritize material contrast. Noble colors shine brightest when paired with luxurious textures: silk blouses, cashmere cardigans, leather belts, or suede accents. These fabrics add depth and catch light in ways flat cotton never can, signaling high status and care without saying a word. Third, never underestimate facial anchors, as contrast between hair and skin naturally softens with age, especially with silver or gray. Defined eyebrows and a bright, well-chosen lipstick become non-negotiable. They create focal points that draw eyes upward and prevent the face from looking washed out. A bold lip in a complementary shade acts like a spotlight on your expression. Fourth, embrace structured fit. Baggy. Shapeless clothing is one of the fastest ways to reinforce invisibility. A defined waist, even with a belt, structured shoulders, or tailored lines instantly elevate posture and communicate command of your space. These silhouettes say, "I occupy this room intentionally." For those of us with silver or gray hair, what I call silver sisters, these rules adapt beautifully. Your undertone doesn't change, but contrast levels do. Jewel tones make gray hair appear sparkly and deliberate rather than dull. Quick guide. Platinum or bright silver thrives with crisp, cool jewels. Salt and pepper looks striking in deep, rich shades. Gray blends soften with slate blues or cool earth tones. Warm or beige gray warms up with rusts, olives, and berry pinks. Avoid muddy or overly dusty shades that lower contrast. Stick to the vibrant, light-reflecting ones we've chosen. The beauty of these strategies is their simplicity. You don't need a new wardrobe, just intentional choices layered on what you already own. Start small, one noble color. Plus one rule this week: observe the difference, not just in mirrors, but in interactions. People hold doors longer. Strangers smile first. Colleagues listen more closely. These aren't coincidences. They're the result of aligning outer presentation with inner truth. You've got the colors. You've got the science and psychology behind them. You've got the styling framework to make them work every day. The transformation from invisible to irresistible isn't about perfection. It's about presence, about refusing to shrink, about dressing with the same courage and clarity you bring to every other part of your life. In the final part, we'll wrap this journey with a concrete challenge and the reminder that this power has always been yours. For now, take a moment. Look at your closet with new eyes. One of these noble colors is waiting to help you step fully into the light. Go find it. The world is ready to see you, really see you. To recap, the 5 noble colors: tomato red, royal cobalt blue, pearl white, emerald green, and magenta rich pinks help you bypass biases and get noticed instantly. Fashion after 50 isn't about dressing your age. It's about dressing with intention. As Coco Chanel said, fashion fades, but style endures. Your challenge this week: pick one noble color, pair it with a structured fit, and observe how people treat you differently in stores, conversations, everywhere. Let me know in the comments, which noble color are you trying first? Like, if this resonated, subscribe and hit the bell for more psychology-backed style tips, and check out related videos in the series if you're loving this. Thanks for watching. You're the agent of change in your own story. See you next time.